A ripple moves through the cosmos, a haunting hum, a whisper of something immense drawing near. It slithers through the void, unseen yet undeniable, a tremor in the very fabric of reality. The Pleiadians, those enigmatic starborn watchers who have guided humanity from the shadows of time, have broken their silence. Their message carries an eerie weight, not as a gentle warning, but as a dire proclamation of what is to come. Once, April was seen as a time of renewal, a season of rebirth, where nature stirred from its slumber. But this time, the month looms on the horizon, like an ominous storm front, its winds heavy with an energy potent enough to alter the very course of destiny. This is not an ordinary astrological shift. It is a rupture, an upheaval so fierce it will strip away veils of illusion and expose the raw, unfiltered truth beneath. The Pleiadians' message is not a whisper of guidance, but a cry of urgency, a final call to awaken before it is too late. The force they speak of will not be gentle. It is neither a mere celestial alignment, nor a subtle vibrational shift. It is a reckoning. A storm is rising, an astral maelstrom that will sweep through dimensions, shaking the heavens and rattling the very foundation of the earth. Unseen currents of energy will surge and collide, unraveling deceptions that have been carefully woven into the fabric of our collective consciousness. What was once hidden will be laid bare, and humanity will have no choice but to confront the truths it has long sought to ignore. The signs are already here, subtle yet undeniable. Those attuned to the deeper rhythms of existence can feel it within their very bones, a shiver of recognition, an unspoken knowing that pulses through their being. It is in the restless winds that whisper secrets through the trees, in the way shadows seem to stretch just a little longer than before, in the strange stillness that lingers just beneath the noise of daily life. Reality itself seems to be holding its breath, waiting for the storm to break. But what is this storm? What force could be so immense that even the Pleiadians, beings who have watched over us through the rise and fall of civilizations, have sounded the alarm? They speak of an event that will begin like a distant murmur, the first shivers before a fever takes hold. But when it arrives, it will come not as a whisper, but as a roar, unstoppable, relentless, undeniable. It will charge the very air we breathe, send shockwaves through time itself, and unravel the carefully constructed illusions we have clung to for so long. It will be as if a cosmic mirror has been shattered, its shards reflecting truths too profound, too raw to be ignored. An ancient cycle is turning, its gears grinding with the weight of eons. April is the doorway, the threshold through which this force will surge, sweeping across the planet and leaving nothing unchanged. This is not just an astrological event, nor is it merely a spiritual awakening. It is a cosmic reckoning, a moment of transformation that will echo through lifetimes, altering the course of humanity in ways still unfathomable. And so, the Pleiadians leave us with a choice: to stand blinded, resisting the tide, clinging to illusions that will soon be stripped away, or to open our eyes and see, truly see, what lies beyond the veil. The answer is not written in the stars, nor is it dictated by fate alone. It lies in the choices made now, in the silent moments before the chaos unfurls. April approaches, and with it, the storm gathers strength. The countdown has begun. The forces that have long watched over this world have spoken, but the final revelation remains shrouded in shadow. What lies beyond this cosmic tempest? What will be revealed when the skies ignite with the fire of transformation? The calm before the storm is deceptive. The eerie stillness of April's arrival is but a fragile illusion, a momentary pause before the inevitable. Beneath this deceptive peace, cosmic forces stir, shifting, and weaving together an intricate, unfathomable pattern of energy. It is as if the universe itself has drawn in a breath, poised on the precipice of an unstoppable shift. This is not the gentle rhythm of celestial tides. It is a tidal wave of power, a force that will crash through existence and leave behind a world reborn or shattered. Something ancient stirs within the cosmic fabric, an energy unlike any that has come before. It moves with the grace of a celestial tide, yet carries the weight of an impending storm. This is not a mere shift. It is a convergence. A moment in time where unseen forces align to awaken, disrupt, and transform. Those attuned to the universal rhythms feel it already. An undercurrent of power, both exhilarating and unsettling, threading its way through reality like an unspoken prophecy waiting to unfold. Far beyond Earth, in the luminous embrace of the Pleiadian star system, a pulse has been sent forth, a ripple in the great cosmic ocean. It is not an accident, nor a mere fluctuation in space-time. This is a transmission, a beacon resonating with purpose. Its journey through the dark void of the universe is deliberate, reaching Earth with a precision that defies the limitations of physics as we know them. It is both a gift and a challenge, an invitation wrapped in frequencies too vast to be fully understood, too potent to be ignored. As this energy brushes against Earth's electromagnetic grid, it does more than simply pass through. It lingers, interweaving with the planet's heartbeat, rewriting the vibrational patterns that govern reality itself. The very air quivers with its touch. Water carries its resonance. Stone absorbs its whispers. Even those who do not consciously perceive energy are affected, drawn into its silent symphony of transformation. For those who are sensitive, however, the experience is undeniable. The frequency is a song without sound, a hum that vibrates through the marrow of existence. The effects ripple outward. Reality begins to waver, its edges fraying like an old tapestry, unraveling thread by thread. Time no longer flows as it should. Days feel stretched. Moments loop and bend. And the distinction between dream and waking thought grows hazy. Those with open hearts and receptive souls glimpse strange visions in the periphery of their awareness. Ethereal figures moving just beyond sight. Distant voices, whispering truths too profound for words. Flashes of unknown landscapes that feel both alien and familiar. Yet not all are prepared for such an acceleration. For many, this energy manifests as an unexplainable pressure, a tightening in the chest, a persistent restlessness, a mind that refuses to quiet. The nights grow uneasy, dreams laced with cryptic symbols and apocalyptic fire. Some awaken drenched in sweat, their pulse racing as if they have run from something unseen. Others feel the weight of an invisible presence pressing against their consciousness, urging them to listen, to awaken, to remember. The thinning of the veil is undeniable. The fabric that separates dimensions, that keeps the mundane world neatly confined within its familiar borders, is growing fragile. The boundary between seen and unseen, between past and future, between human and celestial, flickers like a candle flame in a restless wind. There are moments when the physical realm wobbles. Objects seem to shimmer, shadows move of their own accord, and strange, luminescent figures flicker at the edge of perception. Some have begun to speak of voices, carried on the breeze, gentle murmurs that brush against their awareness, like echoes from a forgotten language. Others experience the sensation of being watched, not with malice, but with a kind of quiet expectation, as if unseen observers await something monumental. And then there are those who, in moments of stillness, feel an inexplicable longing, as if something ancient within them is awakening, recognizing this shift for what it truly is: a return, a realignment, a remembering. With each passing day, the tension builds. Those who have always sensed the undercurrents of energy, empaths, starseeds, old souls, can no longer dismiss the intensity pressing against their spirits. It is an urgent pull, a cosmic drumbeat growing louder, urging them to prepare before the full force of the storm arrives. And even those who have never considered the unseen realms now find themselves inexplicably restless, plagued by a vague unease that refuses to be named. The very atmosphere crackles with anticipation, much like the electric stillness before a great tempest. The sky holds its breath. The earth hums with an unspoken knowing. Every soul, whether aware or unaware, is caught in this rising tide. Something is coming, something immense, something undeniable. A choice looms ahead: resist the shift and be swept into the chaos of transformation, unprepared, or surrender to it, embrace it, and allow oneself to be carried into the next phase of existence. One way or another, the change is inevitable. The only question that remains is, who will rise to meet it? The Pleiadians have spoken, yet their message is not one of solace. Instead, it is a declaration, a celestial warning etched into the very fabric of the universe. This is not a fleeting event, nor is it a momentary shift that will pass unnoticed. It is the dawn of a profound reckoning, a cosmic summons that calls upon humanity to awaken from its slumber. The energies now converging are unlike anything felt before. They are ancient, formidable, and uncompromising in their purpose. This is the hour of transformation, but transformation does not come without tribulation. The universe does not gently guide those who refuse to see. It shakes them, dismantles their illusions, and tears away the veils of falsehoods that have long shrouded their perception. The storm that approaches is not one of mere chaos, but of divine necessity. It seeks to cleanse, to purge, to strip away the layers of fear, attachment, and deception that have kept humanity bound to a lesser state of being. For those who resist, the energy will be crushing. It will tear through the barriers they have built, unraveling the comfort of ignorance. Fear will rise, illusions will shatter, and all that is untrue will be exposed beneath the weight of cosmic truth. But for those who align, for those who surrender to the flow of this vast and unrelenting force, the path ahead will open like never before. The soul will find liberation, the mind will expand beyond the constraints of the physical, and consciousness will ascend to new heights. The choice is still in the hands of each being, but time is no longer a luxury. The storm is near, and the cosmos does not wait. April's skies whisper secrets, but only a few possess the awareness to hear them. A storm gathers, not of wind nor of rain, but of energy, unseen, yet deeply felt. The heavens hum with anticipation, a prelude to the convergence of celestial forces. The movements of the stars are not random. They are the deliberate chords of a cosmic symphony, resonating across dimensions, shaping the very essence of existence. This is a moment of great significance, a window in time where universal currents align to send forth a wave of transformative power. As the planets shift into alignment, their energies magnify, amplifying the vibrations that ripple through the cosmos. This is no mere astrological event. It is an opening, a passage through which the unseen forces of the universe surge forth. Those who understand the sacred language of the stars recognize this as a call, a rare moment when the barriers between worlds thin, and the veil of reality quivers under the weight of incoming frequencies. The Earth itself responds. Its magnetosphere, the unseen barrier that shields it from cosmic radiation, trembles and fluctuates under the strain of the incoming waves. This is not merely a scientific anomaly. It is a spiritual event of immense magnitude. It stirs something deep within all living beings, awakening a primal knowing that transcends logic. Sensitive souls feel it first, as the shifting energies send ripples through their consciousness. Emotional tides rise and fall unpredictably. Moods swing with the force of an unseen current. The air crackles with an intensity that defies explanation, and the mind struggles to grasp the shifting reality. For many, these energetic disturbances manifest in the physical realm: aches, fatigue, headaches, symptoms that defy medical reasoning. A strange electric hum seems to vibrate within the body, a resonance that refuses to be ignored. Electronics flicker and glitch as unseen forces disrupt their delicate balance. Even the natural world reacts. Animals behave erratically. Plants seem to respond to the heightened frequencies. The very pulse of the earth feels different, as though it is awakening alongside those who have chosen to listen. And then, the waves arrive. They do not trickle in gently. They crash, raw, unfiltered surges of energy that flood the consciousness, forcing it open. These are downloads from the cosmos itself, bursts of information and awareness so vast that they can be disorienting. For the unprepared, it feels as though reality is fracturing, slipping beyond grasp. Time distorts, moments blur, and visions flicker in the mind's eye. A sense of unease takes hold as the familiar dissolves into something far greater and yet wholly unknown. But for those attuned to these shifts, this is a time of revelation. The barriers between past, present, and future begin to dissolve, revealing truths once hidden. Vivid insights emerge, illuminating paths that once seemed invisible. The journey of the soul takes precedence, and those willing to embrace the energy will find themselves propelled into deeper levels of awareness. Yet this is not an easy process. The energy does not merely enlighten, it demands release. Buried emotions rise like specters from the depths of the psyche. Traumas long hidden are unearthed, and fears that once seemed manageable now stand fully exposed. This is the purge, the storm before the renewal. It is a cosmic baptism, a trial by fire that will strip away all that is false. Those who embrace it will emerge transformed, reborn into a higher state of being. But those who fight against it, who cling to the familiar and refuse to surrender to the flow, will find themselves struggling against a force far greater than they can comprehend. The choice is now before all. To resist is to suffer. To surrender is to ascend. The storm is coming, and the universe waits for no one. The resistance to these immense energetic shifts does not alleviate the discomfort. It only amplifies it, deepening the sense of inner turmoil. Surrender, however, does not mean passivity. It is an act of trust, an acceptance that allows clarity to emerge from the chaos. Those who navigate these surges with grace will experience a profound metamorphosis, but transformation is rarely gentle. It demands the shedding of old identities, the breaking of mental constructs, and the willingness to step into the unknown. The nature of time itself seems to warp under the pressure of these energies. Hours elongate and contract unpredictably, distorting the perception of past, present, and future. Déjà vu occurs with eerie frequency, as if time loops upon itself or parallel realities brush against one another, creating glimpses of events that have happened, will happen, or are happening in a different version of existence. This dissonance leaves many feeling unmoored, as though their consciousness is being stretched beyond the linear structure they have always known. Perceptions shift in unpredictable ways. Some moments vanish in an instant, while others feel infinite, echoing with the weight of lifetimes. The mind, conditioned to seek stability, struggles to anchor itself in a world that suddenly appears fluid, its boundaries porous. Some find themselves perceiving faint, flickering realities at the edges of their awareness, tantalizing glimpses of alternate timelines where different choices have led to different fates. Though unsettling, these distortions offer an opportunity, a chance to move beyond the illusion of time as a rigid, one-directional stream, and recognize it for what it truly is, a vast, interconnected web of infinite possibilities. The storm rattles this web, revealing paths not taken, choices not yet made, and destinies still waiting to unfold. For those who dare to peer beyond the veil, a revelation emerges. Reality is not fixed, and consciousness is not bound by the ticking of a clock. Amidst this energetic upheaval, a message resounds, not in words, but in a silent transmission, carried on waves of knowing, resonating deep within the soul. It is an urgent call from the Pleiadians, echoing across the fabric of existence. Those who are attuned to the higher frequencies feel this call as a stirring in their very being, a magnetic pull toward awakening. It is not a demand, but an invitation, an urging to rise beyond fear, to embrace the shifts that are unfolding rather than resist them. The message is both a beacon of hope and a warning. The time to awaken is now. Those who heed the call will find themselves drawn toward alignment with the evolving energies, guided toward a higher state of awareness and understanding. Those who resist may find themselves lost, trapped in the chaos of a world that is rapidly changing around them. This is a pivotal moment in the grand unfolding of consciousness, a turning point where destinies are being shaped. The storm is not here to destroy. It is here to catalyze, to propel humanity forward in its evolution. Those who listen, those who open their hearts and minds will not only survive the storm, but emerge transformed, their perception expanded, their purpose illuminated. Yet, this transformation is not without its trials. As the storm sweeps through existence, it does not merely affect the external world. It reaches into the depths of the human psyche, stirring emotions that have long been buried. It is an unseen tide washing over the soul, unearthing wounds that have remained hidden in the shadows. Pain that was once locked away surfaces with force. Memories resurface. Old fears take shape and emotions long suppressed demand to be felt. The storm does not allow anything to remain unhealed. For many, this emotional reckoning is overwhelming. Grief, anger, sorrow, regret. These emotions rise like relentless waves, crashing against the walls of the self, dismantling defenses that have stood for years. It can feel like drowning in a flood of one's own history, as if the past is reclaiming its hold. Yet, within this turmoil lies the potential for profound healing. The storm forces recognition, release, and ultimately transformation. Those who surrender to this process, who allow themselves to feel, to acknowledge, to let go, will find themselves emerging lighter, freer. The old burdens will no longer weigh them down. But those who fight against this inner tide, who resist the necessary confrontation with their pain, will find the storm relentless, its force growing stronger until the weight of unhealed wounds becomes unbearable. The mind, too, becomes a battleground in this great upheaval. Thoughts spiral uncontrollably, looping in endless cycles of doubt, fear, and uncertainty. The mental chatter grows deafening, making it nearly impossible to find stillness. Overthinking takes hold, an incessant questioning that leads nowhere. A storm of the mind mirroring the chaos of the external world. Sleep, when it comes, offers little respite. Dreams turn vivid and unsettling, filled with symbols and echoes of past experiences, fears made manifest, and visions of futures yet to be determined. These are not meaningless dreams. They are the subconscious attempting to process the storm's impact, fragments of the psyche seeking integration. They hold messages, guidance, and revelations for those who dare to decipher them. The storm is both a force of destruction and a force of creation. It dismantles only to rebuild, strips away only to reveal what lies beneath. For those willing to embrace the discomfort, to trust in the process, and to listen to the call of awakening, it offers something invaluable. the chance to step into a new state of being, one unshackled by fear, unburdened by the past, and open to the limitless possibilities of existence. This storm, though disruptive, is ultimately a force of profound transformation. It does not merely cause destruction. It dismantles illusions, revealing the raw, unfiltered truths that have long been hidden beneath the surface. Like a cosmic sculptor, it carves away falsehoods, leaving only the essence of what is real and unshakable. The choice remains ever present: resist and be consumed by the chaos, or surrender to the inevitable upheaval and emerge reborn, renewed, and redefined. The universe is shifting, and those who attune themselves to its rhythm will find themselves standing at the threshold of something far greater than they ever imagined. Understanding and release can be overwhelming, their weight pressing heavily on the mind and spirit. A fog settles in, obscuring clarity, making even the simplest tasks seem insurmountable. The mind rebels against the coming change, clinging desperately to familiar patterns. But resistance only deepens the strain. The more one fights against the current, the more they are dragged under by its force. And yet, within the heart of the storm, there exists a paradoxical serenity, a sacred silence in which deeper truths are unveiled. Those who quiet their thoughts, who relinquish control and allow their consciousness to flow like water, may find themselves gifted with moments of piercing clarity. In the eye of the storm, wisdom whispers through the stillness. For some, this storm serves as a powerful awakening, a moment when the soul, long shackled by the mind's limitations, breaks free and glimpses a reality beyond the tangible. Old beliefs, once considered unshakable, crumble like ancient ruins. The veils of illusion are lifted, and in their place, an undeniable truth emerges. One that shatters the false constructs of the ego and leaves only the vast, luminous expanse of higher awareness. This awakening is akin to a lightning strike, sudden and electric, igniting the consciousness with a fire that can never again be extinguished. The storm does not simply destroy, it refines, exposing the purest elements of existence. But the journey toward enlightenment is not without peril. Those who resist, clinging to outdated beliefs, stagnant identities, and rigid perceptions, may find themselves ensnared in a deep psychological fracture. When the mind cannot reconcile the truth with its illusions, it spirals into fear and confusion, plunging the soul into a darkness that feels inescapable. The storm is relentless. It demands transformation. There is no middle ground. One must either rise into new awareness or be consumed by the weight of resistance. Yet, for those who embrace the challenge, who surrender to the storm's wisdom rather than recoil in fear, the rewards are immeasurable. They emerge from the tempest forever changed, stronger, wiser, and liberated from illusion. The storm acts as a mirror, reflecting every hidden fear, every buried wound, and every unresolved shadow. To face these reflections is to walk through fire, to confront the darkest corners of the self. It is a journey fraught with discomfort, for the mind resists exposure, preferring the familiar refuge of denial. But true growth does not arise from avoidance. It is forged in the crucible of self-confrontation. It is through this reckoning with the shadow that one reclaims their power. The darkness is not to be feared, but integrated. The storm demands courage, urging one to acknowledge the truth no matter how painful. Those who turn away, who refuse to look inward, find their fears magnified, their inner demons relentless in their pursuit. But those who dare to embrace their shadows find something unexpected: healing. The once feared darkness transforms into an ally, a wellspring of wisdom and strength. This journey from fear to self-acceptance is the alchemy of the soul, a metamorphosis that leads to true wholeness. For empaths, the storm is particularly intense, an almost unbearable deluge of emotion. Sensitive souls are attuned to the energies of the world, absorbing not only their own struggles, but also the collective pain of humanity. The storm amplifies this sensitivity, making emotions surge like tidal waves, each one carrying sorrow, anger, and confusion. Without proper grounding, empaths risk being swept away, drowning in the emotional turbulence of those around them. Many feel isolated, overwhelmed by a suffering that does not entirely belong to them. And yet, within this sensitivity lies a profound gift: the ability to transmute pain into healing. By mastering the art of shielding and grounding, empaths can harness the storm's energy, transforming chaos into compassion, despair into wisdom. The storm calls for balance, urging empaths to protect their own well-being while embracing the depth of their perception. It is a test of resilience, a challenge to remain open-hearted even in the darkest hour. But within the heart of this storm, beneath the roaring winds and the violent upheaval, lies an extraordinary gift, a doorway to spiritual evolution. Though unsettling, the cosmic storm is not merely destructive, it is a catalyst for profound transformation. The same energies that shake the foundations of the mind and soul also awaken dormant abilities, stirring ancient wisdom buried deep within. It is as if the universe itself is flooding the earth with waves of luminous energy, activating a mystical process within all who are ready. Intuition sharpens, psychic senses awaken, and the soul's memory of its divine purpose resurfaces. The storm is not chaos for chaos's sake. It is an initiation, a sacred passage into a higher state of being. For those who embrace the storm, who surrender to its wisdom rather than resist its force, the transformation is nothing short of miraculous. They emerge not as who they once were, but as something greater. Beings of light, unburdened by illusion, standing at the threshold of a new reality. The storm is not to be feared. It is to be honored. For within its fury lies the promise of rebirth, and within its destruction lies the foundation of something new, something profound, something eternal. The storm does not merely stir the air and shake the earth. It awakens something far deeper, something ancient and boundless that has long slumbered within the soul. It is a force beyond mere weather, beyond the physical. It is an echo of the universe's eternal rhythm, calling to those who are ready to listen. As the winds howl and the skies crackle with electric fury, an undeniable shift begins. A veil lifts, revealing the vastness of existence beyond the constraints of the material world. Memories long buried beneath the weight of time rise to the surface. Echoes of past lives, fragments of forgotten wisdom, glimpses of cosmic truths, once known but obscured by the density of human experience. For those attuned to its energy, the storm is not chaos, but awakening. It peels away illusion, dissolving the belief in separateness that has long held humanity captive. The boundaries between self and universe blur, revealing the infinite web of connection that binds all things. Reality expands beyond what was once thought possible, stretching into dimensions unseen, yet deeply felt. The ordinary world no longer seems so ordinary. Every moment becomes a thread in a grand divine tapestry woven from light and consciousness itself. This is the beginning of a profound transformation, an initiation into a higher state of being where everything pulses with meaning and existence itself hums with sacred purpose. But the storm does more than awaken. It ignites. It breathes fire into the dormant embers of the soul's true calling, setting them ablaze with an intensity that cannot be ignored. Missions encoded in the spirit long before birth begin to stir, first as a whisper in the heart, then as an urgent summons impossible to dismiss. With each gust of wind, with each flash of lightning, the call grows louder. This is the moment of recognition, The realization that nothing has been random, that every trial, every longing, every inexplicable yearning has been leading to this. Some feel the pull toward healing, their hands and hearts ablaze with the power to mend what is broken. Others feel compelled to teach, to illuminate the path for those still lost in the fog of illusion. Still, others are drawn to guide, to forge new roads into uncharted spiritual terrain. There is no longer room for hesitation. As the storm reaches its crescendo, it strips away doubt with merciless precision, leaving only truth in its wake. That which no longer serves is torn from the soul, leaving behind only that which is essential, that which is aligned with the highest calling. Old fears crumble, insecurities vanish like mist before the morning sun, and the soul steps forward, clear, resolute, unwavering. Those who have spent a lifetime feeling out of place, as if they were waiting for something without knowing what, now understand. The puzzle pieces fall into place, the design of destiny is revealed, and for the first time, everything makes sense. Yet this awakening is not a solitary journey. As the storm rages on, the veil between worlds thins, allowing guidance from higher realms to flow freely. The presence of spiritual guides, ancestors, and luminous beings becomes undeniable. They do not merely whisper from afar. They step forward, visible and unmistakable, their wisdom pouring into the open hearts of those who seek it. Dreams transform into sacred visions, filled with symbols and messages that illuminate the path ahead. Meditation becomes a doorway, revealing landscapes and dimensions beyond earthly comprehension. Signs and synchronicities appear with stunning clarity, reaffirming the truth. No one walks alone. A divine presence watches, guides, and protects, ensuring that this transformation is not a descent into chaos, but a rite of passage, a journey overseen by forces far greater than the human mind can fathom. Surrender is key. Those who resist the storm's lessons find themselves battered by its winds, struggling against the inevitable. But those who embrace it, who let themselves be carried by its force, are transformed in ways beyond imagining. This is not destruction, it is rebirth. It is the breaking of chains, the shedding of old skins, the release of burdens carried for lifetimes. It is a baptism of fire and lightning, a purification that leaves behind only the raw, unshakable essence of the true self. Beyond guidance, beyond awakening, beyond the calling of purpose, the storm heralds something even greater, a quantum leap in consciousness. It is a passage into a new way of being, a reality where the limitations of the past dissolve. The constructs of fear, scarcity, and separation no longer hold power. In their place arises something luminous, something boundless. The soul, no longer shackled by illusion, recognizes its infinite nature. The mind expands, perceiving beyond linear time, understanding that existence is not a singular journey, but a vast, multidimensional experience. The physical world is but one layer of a greater truth, and those who pass through the storm awaken to their role as creators of reality itself. Yet, this transformation does not come without trials. The storm demands surrender to the unknown, a release of all that once felt secure, but now holds no weight in the face of truth. It is a letting go, not just of the past, but of every belief, attachment, and limitation that once defined reality. And in that surrender, a new resonance takes hold. The soul aligns with a frequency beyond anything it has known before, a frequency of the new earth. The echoes of old energies fade, replaced by something higher, purer, infused with love, wisdom, and divine harmony. And as the storm passes, those who have embraced its fire find themselves transformed. They emerge not as who they were, but as who they were always meant to be. Their reality shifts, drawing them into new experiences, into communities of kindred spirits, into lives that resonate with their awakened truth. The world they once knew no longer holds them, for they now walk in a different light, a light of unity, love, and boundless possibility. For this is not just a storm. It is an awakening. It is an ascension. It is the call of destiny, answered at last. Though everything may appear unchanged on the surface, beneath the stillness, a profound transformation is unfolding. The storm, far from being a destructive force, serves as a harbinger of renewal, a passage into a heightened state of awareness. It does not signify an end, but rather a new beginning, an initiation into a higher plane of existence. The soul, having endured the turbulence, emerges purified, attuned to the shifting energies of the earth, and ready to walk the sacred path of wisdom and enlightenment. This journey is ongoing, an infinite unfolding of truth. But now, the traveler carries a powerful gift, the hidden blessing of the storm. It is the gift of awakening, of purpose, of ascension beyond the illusions that once clouded perception. As the cosmic storm intensifies, it rips apart the veil that has long concealed the deeper truths of existence. The structures that have thrived on deception, fear, and control begin to tremble, their foundations no longer able to withstand the force of revelation. Illusions crumble, exposing the long-buried realities hidden beneath layers of manipulation. For centuries, humanity has sought comfort in carefully constructed facades, systems that offered stability but not truth, security but not freedom. Now, under the weight of the storm's relentless energy, these false constructs dissolve like mist in the morning sun. What is left is raw, unfiltered truth, undeniable in its clarity. The transition is neither gentle nor easy. It is a reckoning, a profound awakening, akin to the piercing dawn after a long, restless night. For many, this unveiling is a shock, a seismic shift that dismantles their understanding of the world. The collapse of outdated beliefs leaves them standing at the precipice of the unknown, forced to reconcile with the reality that life is not what they once imagined. The storm does not permit denial. It compels awareness, pushing hidden truths to the surface, with an intensity that cannot be ignored. There is no retreat to the comfort of past illusions. They no longer hold substance. With their dissolution, a great awakening sweeps across the world, igniting a fire within the soul of humanity. People begin to question, to seek, to rediscover their inner light beyond the material realm. The storm, once feared as a harbinger of chaos, reveals itself as a catalyst for transformation. This awakening is not a slow and gentle stirring. It is an electrifying surge, a force that shatters complacency. Those who have slumbered in the haze of conditioned thought suddenly find themselves wide awake, sensing a greater reality beneath the surface of existence. A collective consciousness emerges, its tendrils weaving through humanity like an ancient song remembered after lifetimes of forgetting. The illusion of separation dissolves, revealing the undeniable truth of unity, that every soul is connected, each an integral thread in the vast cosmic tapestry. With this revelation comes empowerment, a reclamation of sovereignty long suppressed. The soul remembers its infinite nature, its purpose beyond mere survival and accumulation. Life is not simply about existing, it is about growth, expansion, and the pursuit of the highest truth. Yet within this grand awakening, a karmic reckoning unfolds. The storm does not merely unveil truth, it restores balance. It is a great purifier, sweeping away stagnant energies and forcing unresolved karma into the light. Lifetimes of choices, both light and shadow, rise to the surface, demanding acknowledgement and reconciliation. Those who have lived in alignment with integrity and compassion find themselves uplifted, carried by the waves of transformation into new realms of possibility. Meanwhile, those who have sown deception and harm must now face the consequences of their actions. The storm does not judge, nor does it punish. It simply restores the natural equilibrium, ensuring that all debts are settled and all energies realigned. This purification is no gentle process. It unearths wounds thought long healed, resurfaces memories buried deep within the subconscious, and forces a reckoning with suppressed truths. The pain of this confrontation is sharp and unrelenting, but within it lies the opportunity for redemption. Those who choose to face their past, to acknowledge their shadows and heal, are given the chance to transcend, to break free from cycles of suffering, and step into a new way of being. The storm demands honesty, stripping away all masks and illusions. It is a test of the soul's strength, an invitation to transformation, a call to rise beyond the limitations of fear and step fully into the light of truth. In this time of upheaval, the language of the unseen grows louder. Dreams become more than fleeting visions of the night. They transform into sacred messages, gateways to hidden knowledge. The thinning of the veil allows the subconscious to speak in symbols, guiding the awakened toward clarity and deeper understanding. Vivid images and cryptic messages emerge in the dream state, illuminating past, present, and future. For those attuned to the storm's energy, dreams become a compass, leading them toward their true purpose. Even those who have yet to fully awaken find themselves haunted by inexplicable visions, whispers from the depths of their soul, urging them to remember. The boundary between waking life and the unseen world blurs, revealing that reality has always been far more expansive than the physical eye perceives. Thus, the storm, though fierce and unyielding, is not to be feared. It is a divine force of transformation, an initiation into a new era of consciousness. Those who resist its power find themselves clinging to a world that no longer exists, while those who embrace its lessons discover a path illuminated by wisdom and truth. The journey is far from over, but the soul now moves forward with clarity, no longer burdened by the weight of illusion. It carries within it the gifts bestowed by the storm, the gift of awakening, the gift of purpose, the gift of ascension. The storm, though fierce and unrelenting, does not come to bring annihilation. It arrives as a herald of transformation, an ancient force designed to awaken and elevate the consciousness of humanity. It is not chaos without purpose, but rather an opportunity, a cosmic summons urging souls to embrace their higher calling. Those who listen, who truly open themselves to the lessons hidden within its fury, will emerge renewed, reforged by the elements, tempered by wisdom, and guided toward a path illuminated by clarity, purpose, and truth. The universe is constantly speaking, whispering messages through the fabric of existence, sending signs through dreams, intuition, and synchronicities. Yet only those who are willing to listen will truly hear. The wisdom of the soul speaks, not in the clamor of the mundane, but in the silence between thoughts, in the subtle nudges of the heart. Those who recognize and interpret these messages gain a rare gift, insight into the unfolding of their destiny. But those who turn away, distracted by the noise of the material world, miss the guidance that could lead them toward their highest potential. The storm is more than just a disturbance in the physical world. It reaches into the dream realm, stirring the depths of the collective unconscious. The Pleiadian's warning echoes through the winds, not as a threat, but as a plea. Awaken, or be consumed by the chaos of resistance. Change is the law of existence, and to deny it is to invite suffering. The storm does not destroy for the sake of destruction. It shatters illusions, burns away the stagnant, and clears the way for what must come next. This is no ordinary storm. It is a divine catalyst, a gateway between the old and the new. It demands the shedding of outworn identities, outdated beliefs, and attachments that no longer serve growth. Those who embrace this process of surrender and renewal will find themselves on a path of self-discovery, each step revealing deeper truths about their nature and purpose. It is a rebirth, a metamorphosis of the spirit, granting those who are willing to let go the ability to rise into a new way of being. Yet, for those who resist, who cling to false securities, illusions of control, and the comfort of the familiar, the storm becomes a force of reckoning. It will shake them, drag them into the depths of uncertainty, and strip them of all falsehoods. But even this is not punishment. It is an act of cosmic mercy, for the soul cannot grow in stagnation. The Pleiadian's warning is urgent, yet not meant to induce fear. Fear itself is the illusion, a shadow cast by the ego's desire to maintain what is crumbling. The time for awakening is now, and the choice belongs to each soul. The storm is a force of purification, an alchemical fire that refines the essence of those who walk through it. It is a baptism of spirit, cleansing away all that stands in the way of true liberation. The message is clear: rise, awaken, embrace the transformation, or be swept away by the raging tide of unheeded change. This is a moment of reckoning, a crossroads where every soul must choose its path. The storm does not force, it invites. It is a call to transcend fear, to step into the truth of who we truly are. Yet this transformation does not unfold without opposition. As the storm sweeps across the earth, it ignites an invisible war, a battle not fought with weapons, but within the realm of consciousness itself. The spiritual world becomes a battleground where forces beyond the physical clash over the fate of human awakening. Lightworkers, those who have committed themselves to the path of truth and service, find themselves under siege, subjected to intense psychic and energetic attacks. These assaults do not come in the form of physical violence, but through waves of fear, doubt, and despair. Darkness, in its many manifestations, resists the emergence of light. It seeks to maintain control, to keep humanity asleep, bound in illusions, and disconnected from the truth of their own divine power. The attacks are subtle, yet relentless. They come in moments of vulnerability, when the spirit is weary, when hope flickers, when faith wavers. Sudden waves of anxiety, intrusive thoughts, and unexplained sorrow seep into the mind like whispers from an unseen force. Many who walk the path of awakening feel isolated, as if they stand alone against an overwhelming tide. But this isolation is an illusion. The storm tests all who choose the light, refining them through trials, forcing them to fortify their inner strength. And those who endure emerge unshaken, their radiance burning brighter than before. For this battle is not a battle to be won with aggression, but with unwavering presence. It is a confrontation between light and shadow, an opportunity for the soul to stand in its truth, unshaken by fear. But darkness does not always strike openly. It is cunning, and its greatest weapon is not brute force, but deception. It does not seek to destroy outright, but to mislead, to distort, to ensnare. One of its most insidious tactics is false light, a seductive illusion that masquerades as wisdom while leading seekers further from the truth. False prophets, self-proclaimed enlightened masters, and deceptive spiritual teachings prey upon the longing of those seeking deeper understanding. They offer easy answers, promising instant enlightenment, spiritual rewards without effort, and shortcuts to ascension. They feed the ego rather than the soul, cultivating superiority, division, and complacency. Many fall into these traps, drawn by the illusion of knowledge while unknowingly straying from the path of true growth. True awakening is not about comfort. It is about courage. It is not about superiority. It is about humility. The journey demands self-reflection, discernment, and the willingness to confront one's own shadows. The storm in all its chaos is a revealer of truth. It strips away illusion, exposing deception for what it truly is. False teachers crumble under the weight of their own fabrications. Their words, empty echoes that no longer hold power. Those who seek truth must be vigilant, testing every teaching, feeling its resonance within their soul, rather than blindly accepting external guidance. The storm grants this clarity, peeling away the false and illuminating the authentic. This is not a time of destruction, but of revelation. The storm is a mirror, reflecting the deepest truths of existence, revealing what has been hidden and calling forth the courage to step into the unknown. It is not here to break humanity, but to awaken it. Those who rise with it, who embrace its lessons, will find themselves transformed beyond imagination. They will walk forward, not as they were, but as they were always meant to be, awakened, empowered, and free. The storm's chaotic energy does not merely exist as a force of nature. It serves as a magnet for unseen entities, parasitic forces that thrive in the turbulence of fear, despair, and emotional turmoil. These entities, invisible to the naked eye but deeply felt by the soul, are energetic predators drawn to the raw intensity of human suffering. They latch onto unprotected spirits, subtly infiltrating their energy fields, feeding off their distress, and magnifying negativity. Much like shadows growing longer as the light dims, these entities exploit vulnerability, slipping into the cracks of self-doubt, past traumas, and unresolved wounds. The more one succumbs to fear, the stronger their grip becomes, making escape seem nearly impossible. For those ensnared in cycles of fear, anger, or hopelessness, life can feel like a relentless downward spiral. These entities work tirelessly to keep souls trapped in lower vibrational states, hindering their spiritual evolution and keeping them disconnected from their higher selves. Their whispers of unworthiness, despair, and self-destruction weave seamlessly into the subconscious mind, making their influence almost indistinguishable from one's own thoughts. Many do not recognize these insidious intrusions, believing that the darkness they feel is a natural part of their psyche rather than an external force feeding off their pain. The storm amplifies these attacks, stirring up emotions, clouding judgment, and leaving individuals more susceptible to these parasitic influences. This is why it is crucial, now more than ever, to guard one's energy and engage in conscious spiritual self-care. The Pleiadians, beings of higher consciousness and celestial wisdom, have long warned of these energetic parasites and their manipulative nature. Their messages have consistently emphasized the importance of fortifying spiritual defenses and reclaiming personal sovereignty. Awareness is the first step toward liberation. One must recognize these forces for what they are and refuse to feed them with fear. However, the influence of these entities extends far beyond individuals. Their reach infiltrates the collective mind, shaping global consciousness. Negative forces seek to divide humanity, using deception, misinformation, and manufactured crises to manipulate and distract. Fear and confusion become their tools of control, wielded like weapons to keep society in a state of spiritual paralysis. As the storm intensifies, so does the battle for consciousness. False narratives flood the collective psyche, creating a constant stream of chaotic energy designed to overwhelm and exhaust. The sheer volume of conflicting information, emotional triggers, and external pressures makes it difficult to discern truth from illusion. Darkness thrives in uncertainty, twisting perceptions and steering individuals away from clarity. Even those who have spent years cultivating wisdom and inner strength can find themselves momentarily swayed by the relentless assault of deceptive influences. The storm forces humanity to confront these illusions, urging individuals to sharpen their discernment and recognize the unseen forces at play. In such times, inner strength and spiritual clarity become more crucial than ever, acting as guiding lights through the shadows. Yet, the Pleiadians do not merely issue warnings. They provide guidance, offering humanity the tools necessary to withstand these energetic assaults. Their teachings emphasize the importance of grounding and protection, practices that fortify the soul against external influences. Visualization techniques, meditation, prayer, and energy shielding serve as powerful defenses, helping individuals anchor themselves in light even as chaos swirls around them. Simple but potent methods, such as imagining roots, extending deep into the earth, or enveloping oneself in a radiant sphere of protective light, can stabilize energy fields and reinforce spiritual resilience. These practices, when done with intention and consistency, create an energetic shield that repels negativity and restores inner harmony. Above all, the Pleiadians remind humanity of a fundamental truth. Fear is the sustenance of darkness, but love and courage are its undoing. Strengthening the soul does not require engaging in battle with external forces. Rather, it calls for an unwavering commitment to light, truth, and higher consciousness. Spiritual warriors, those who choose to embody love, clarity, and wisdom, become beacons in turbulent times, holding space for those who struggle and guiding others toward awakening. True protection comes not from external sources, but from within. A soul that stands firm in its light remains untouchable by darkness. The storm may rage, and the shadows may grow bold, but they cannot conquer those who walk the path of enlightenment with courage and love. Those who hold fast to truth will rise above the illusions, navigating through the chaos with clarity and strength. Darkness may attempt to strike, but it can never extinguish a soul that chooses light. For millennia, the Pleiadians have been revered as celestial guides, offering wisdom to those willing to listen. As the cosmic storm intensifies, their messages resound across the universe, urgent, clear, and unwavering. These are not mere whispers of caution. They are profound revelations meant to awaken the soul and illuminate the path ahead. The choice remains with humanity, to succumb to the fear that binds or to embrace the light that liberates. Their messages carry light codes, energetic imprints encoded with frequencies that are designed to awaken dormant aspects of the human spirit. These transmissions, subtle yet profound, resonate deeply with those who are attuned to the cosmic vibrations. Many who receive these signals experience an inexplicable inner stirring, a recognition of something long buried yet ever present. It is as though ancient truths, veiled by time and conditioning, begin to resurface, beckoning the soul toward a higher understanding. These light codes serve as catalysts for profound spiritual awakenings, unraveling the hidden layers of knowledge embedded within each individual. With every transmission, a greater illumination occurs, revealing pathways once obscured by forgetfulness and disconnection. The Pleiadians, benevolent beings of celestial origin, bring forth these messages not as commandments, but as gentle invitations, whispers of encouragement, urging humanity to reclaim its divine heritage. Their guidance is imbued with the essence of unity, compassion, and transcendence, seeking to dissolve the illusions of fear and separation that have long held humanity captive. They do not impose their wisdom upon the world, for they honor the free will of all beings. Instead, they extend their presence as a guiding light, softly illuminating the road ahead for those willing to see. They acknowledge the severity of the storm sweeping across the earth, a time of immense transformation, fraught with challenges and upheaval. Yet, amid the turbulence, they remind humanity of a fundamental truth: the power to overcome, to heal, and to rise above all obstacles already resides within. At the heart of their teachings lies the understanding that energy follows thought. Consciousness, the architect of reality, shapes the experience of existence. With this knowledge, they offer simple yet profoundly effective techniques to safeguard one's energetic field. Protection, in their view, is not about resistance or defense, but rather about conscious intention and alignment with higher frequencies. One of the most fundamental practices they share is the visualization of a luminous sphere encircling the body, a barrier of radiant light that shields against distortions and interference while allowing love, truth, and divine guidance to flow freely. The frequency of this light can be attuned to specific intentions: white, symbolizing purity and clarity; gold, embodying divine protection; and violet, transmuting dense or negative energies into higher vibrations. Daily energy clearing, they emphasize, is vital in these times of heightened turbulence. Humanity is constantly exposed to energetic influences that can cloud perception and drain vitality. By consciously releasing attachments to lower vibrational energies, individuals fortify themselves against external disruptions. Grounding practices such as connecting with the Earth's energies through nature, breathwork, and meditation serve as powerful stabilizers. This grounding not only enhances resilience, but also strengthens the capacity to serve as a beacon of light in dark times. The Pleiadians remind humanity that these practices are not acts of fear, but rather of self-love and the reclamation of sovereignty over one's own energy field. Yet, their role extends far beyond guidance and protection. The Pleiadians issue a clarion call to starseeds, awakened souls who have incarnated on Earth with a mission deeply intertwined with the planet's ascension. These souls carry within them the wisdom of the cosmos, a sacred remembrance waiting to be fully unlocked. Their presence on Earth is not a coincidence, but a purposeful choice to aid humanity in bridging the gap between the material and the spiritual, to be way showers in this great transformation. The Pleiadians work to activate these starseeds, stirring within them the recognition of their higher purpose. The storm humanity faces is not merely to be observed from a distance. It calls for active participation in the collective awakening. Lightworkers, those who feel the call to heal, uplift, and guide, are urged to step fully into their roles. Their presence, their vibration, and their intentions hold immeasurable power. In a world where fear seeks to divide, their task is to embody unity, love, and unwavering faith in the unfolding divine plan. Every act of kindness, every moment of compassion, every intention set toward healing contributes to the greater shift. The Pleiadians emphasize that collective intention, when aligned with love and truth, has the power to reshape reality. They encourage lightworkers to remain steadfast, to lead by example, and to shine brightly even in the presence of darkness. As the cosmic storm intensifies, humanity stands at a crossroads. The Pleiadians speak of timelines, fluid, shifting, and shaped by collective consciousness. No future is set in stone. Instead, reality is sculpted by choices, frequencies, and alignments. In every moment, individuals have the power to choose love over fear, unity over division, and wisdom over ignorance. By making these conscious choices, humanity can elevate itself to higher timelines, paths that lead toward harmony, enlightenment, and peace. The Pleiadians urge humanity to release attachments to lower vibrational emotions such as anger, resentment, and judgment, and instead cultivate forgiveness, acceptance, and gratitude. Such a shift in frequency accelerates spiritual evolution, enabling individuals to navigate these transformative times with grace and clarity. Their support is subtle yet profound, an ever-present reminder that humanity is not alone in this journey. They assure that the storm, however chaotic it may seem, is not a harbinger of destruction, but a catalyst for metamorphosis. It is a passage, a sacred initiation into a higher state of being. Those who align with truth, who surrender fear and embrace the light, will find themselves guided toward a reality of boundless love and purpose. The storm is not meant to break humanity, but to awaken it. It dismantles illusions, shakes the foundations of outdated paradigms, and presents a choice: remain anchored in the old world, or step boldly into a new era of consciousness. The Pleiadians extend their hands, not to save, but to empower. Their presence is a testament to the vast interconnectedness of all life, a reminder that humanity is part of a much greater cosmic dance. In these times of upheaval, they whisper a message of hope. The light has not abandoned you. It is within you, waiting to be recognized, waiting to be unleashed. The time has come to remember, to rise, and to reclaim the brilliance of your true divine nature. The Pleiadians teach that every challenge, no matter how overwhelming, is an invitation to step into greater awareness, a doorway leading toward the soul's true nature. What appears to be chaos and destruction on the surface is, in truth, a process of deep purification, stripping away illusions and revealing the essence of what truly matters. The struggles and upheavals humanity faces are not random. They serve a higher purpose, pushing individuals and the collective toward transformation. In the midst of this apparent turbulence, humanity is called to shift its perspective, to see beyond the fear and uncertainty, and recognize the profound opportunity hidden within. Each trial is a mirror, reflecting not only external circumstances, but also the internal conflicts, limiting beliefs, and unresolved energies that must be acknowledged and healed. The Pleiadians, as benevolent guides, hold space for this awakening, offering their love, encouragement, and unwavering reminders of humanity's inherent power. They assure those who listen that the storm is not meant to destroy, but to liberate, to shatter the old paradigm and make way for the birth of a higher state of being. This storm, in all its intensity, is a catalyst for ascension. It is a sacred initiation, calling each soul to remember its divine origin and step into its full potential. The Pleiadians emphasize that this is not a punishment, nor a test in the conventional sense, but rather an opportunity, an invitation to align with one's truest essence, to release what no longer serves, and to embrace the light within. For those who heed this call, guidance is always available. The universe is not cruel nor indifferent. It is responsive, reflecting the consciousness of those who navigate its currents. The Pleiadians remind us that those who choose to awaken will find themselves guided, protected, and strengthened. The intensity of this period is not meant to break humanity, but to forge it anew, to temper the soul in the fire of transformation so that it may emerge radiant, whole, and fully aligned with its divine purpose. This moment in time is a crossroads, a threshold between two realities. The storm is not merely external. It rages within, challenging humanity to make a fundamental choice: to rise into a higher state of consciousness, or to remain caught in the cycles of fear and resistance. What follows will either be the dawning of a new era or the continuation of turmoil, determined by the collective choices made during this period of reckoning. Yet the Pleiadians do not offer messages of despair. They stand beside humanity, extending wisdom, protection, and love to those willing to listen. Their guidance serves as a beacon, illuminating the way forward, helping souls navigate the chaos with clarity and purpose. Though the storm may be fierce, it is not without meaning. It carries within it the seeds of renewal, the promise of profound transformation. The Pleiadians urge humanity to trust the process, to embrace the shift, and to recognize that beyond the turmoil lies an unprecedented opportunity for awakening. As cosmic energies reach their peak, the world stands at a pivotal moment. This is not merely a historical transition, but a spiritual one, a planetary initiation into a new paradigm. The old structures built upon control, division, and fear are crumbling, unable to withstand the rising frequencies of consciousness. Every soul is being called to make a choice, to cling to the familiar yet limiting patterns of the past, or to step forward into an expanded reality where truth, love, and unity are the guiding forces. The illusion of separation, which has long been the foundation of human suffering, is dissolving. The storm, in its raw power, acts as a great revealer, peeling away the layers of deception and distortion that have kept humanity fragmented. It exposes the hidden forces that have shaped the world, bringing to light the suppressed truths that can no longer be ignored. In this unveiling, the interconnectedness of all beings becomes undeniable. No longer can humanity afford to perceive itself as divided by borders, beliefs, or identities. A deeper recognition arises, one that acknowledges all souls as threads in the same vast cosmic tapestry, woven together by love, consciousness, and divine purpose. This awakening is not just a realization, it is a transformation in the very way of being. As fear dissolves, the walls that once kept individuals apart begin to crumble. Compassion replaces competition, understanding heals wounds, and cooperation takes precedence over conflict. In the light of truth, the barriers that once seemed insurmountable fade, replaced by a deep sense of unity and shared destiny. The awakening of one becomes the awakening of many, and together, humanity steps into a reality that reflects its highest potential. For those who embrace this shift, the new earth is not a distant dream. It is already forming, already taking root within the hearts and minds of those who choose to align with it. This higher dimensional reality is not just a place, but a state of being, resonating with love, harmony, and a profound connection to the greater whole. In this new paradigm, wisdom flows freely, creativity flourishes without restriction, and life itself becomes an expression of the soul's highest truth. The old systems, built upon fear and division, will dissolve, for they cannot exist in the presence of such elevated consciousness. Those who rise with the storm will carry the light forward. They will serve as beacons, illuminating the path for others, guiding humanity toward the realization of its true nature. They will embody the frequencies of peace, wisdom, and unity, anchoring the new earth into being. Their presence alone will be a testament to what is possible when fear is released, and the soul fully steps into its power. The Pleiadians remind humanity that this moment is sacred. It is not to be feared, but embraced. It is a time of profound metamorphosis, where each individual is given the choice to rise, to remember, and to become the embodiment of the light they have always carried within. The storm is not the end. It is the beginning of something extraordinary. Beyond the chaos, a new dawn awaits, shining with the promise of a world transformed. The storm, relentless and unyielding, is not merely a force of destruction, but an agent of profound transformation. It does not discriminate, nor does it force change upon those who are unwilling. Instead, it acts as a great revealer, stripping away illusions and exposing the raw truth beneath. Yet not all will find solace in its wake. There are those who will resist, desperately clinging to the remnants of an outdated existence, unwilling to let go of the familiar, no matter how stagnant or constricting it has become. For them, the storm does not bring renewal, but intensifies their suffering, as they find themselves trapped in the chaos of their own making. The old ways no longer hold, yet fear of the unknown keeps them bound, perpetuating an inner turmoil that mirrors the external upheaval. For those who embrace the transformation, however, The storm is not an end, but a doorway to a new reality. As the dust settles, the world that emerges is vastly different from what once was. The structures of control, deception, and materialism that defined the old era have crumbled, unable to withstand the power of truth. In their place, a new world begins to take shape. Not one imposed from above, but one born from within. This is not merely a physical reconstruction, but a deep, spiritual metamorphosis that reshapes the very fabric of existence. The collective consciousness of humanity has shifted, aligning itself with a higher truth, a greater purpose, and an awakened state of being. The earth itself responds to this transformation, as if breathing a sigh of relief after enduring centuries of imbalance. Nature flourishes, resonating with the harmony that now emanates from awakened souls. The energy of renewal pulses through the land, the air, the very essence of existence, reflecting the profound inner shifts taking place within humanity. It is a time of immense creativity, where new ideas, innovations, and ways of being emerge, each one infused with the light of higher consciousness. The foundations of this new world are not built on dominance or division, but on unity, love, and an unshakable understanding of interconnectedness. Yet, the new earth is not a distant paradise to escape to. It is not a utopia that exists beyond reach. It is a state of being, a frequency to embody, a way of life to cultivate with every thought, action, and intention. The Pleiadian prophecy, long whispered through the corridors of time, has come to pass, not as a predetermined fate, but as an invitation accepted by those who were ready to embrace their true nature. The storm was never meant as a punishment. It was the great catalyst, a sacred fire designed to burn away illusion, to reveal the truth, and to guide humanity toward its highest potential. The Pleiadians foresaw the difficulties that would accompany this shift, for transformation is rarely without challenge. Yet they also recognized the immense opportunity within it, the chance for humanity to remember, to awaken, to reclaim its cosmic heritage. Now, as the storm fades and the first light of a new dawn illuminates the path ahead, it is clear that this was never the end. It was always the beginning. A new journey unfolds, one of ascension, of deeper awakening, of stepping into the vastness of what was always possible, but long forgotten. Their guidance remains, their love unwavering, but the future is now in humanity's hands. The path forward is not dictated by fate, but shaped by the choices of those who walk it. Those who have answered the call, who have surrendered to the winds of change rather than resisting them, now stand as beacons of light in this transformed world. They carry within them the wisdom of the stars, the light of the cosmos, and the remembrance of who they truly are. A new era has arrived, an era of unity, of spiritual fulfillment, of boundless possibility. The storm, fierce and unrelenting, tested the resolve of all who faced it. But for those who chose to embrace its lessons, it has granted a gift beyond measure: the opportunity to step forward into a world reborn, carrying the eternal flame of divine consciousness within their hearts.